Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live interviews. I so enjoy doing these live because it's a great opportunity for me to not only get to know some amazing people in the world, especially in our vegan and whole foods plant-based community, but also it's a great opportunity for many of you who are joining us live to ask questions, or if you're watching this as a replay, because we broadcast this on so many different social media channels. We encourage you to participate, post questions, or even follow up with our guest. It's such an honor to be able to have not only two diverse voices in our community here today, but also talk about individuals that are out there helping people in the world get healthier, help people reverse many of these diseases, many of these health challenges that many of us are kind of faced with. And we're trying to figure out how to navigate, how we kind of manage what we thought we knew about food, what we thought we knew about nutrition, what we kind of have as habits in the world, and the way that we take care of ourselves, and the way that we try to achieve optimal health. And I'm really excited today to talk about kind of the business that's been built by our guest here, Misty Young and Sherry Baum, where they've built this online community and education site for individuals. The site is called My Nutrition Nurse, and I'm really excited today to not only dive into their mission, but talk about how they're helping people, how they're changing the world and changing lives, and also maybe giving everyone a chance to get to know the people behind the scenes. I know as business owners, as entrepreneurs, sometimes it's nice to hear people's journeys. So I'm hoping today we learn a little bit about Sherry and Mitzi's journeys. So first, let me say welcome to today's interview and welcome. I'm so glad that you're going to be our guest today.
Well, thank you for having us.
It's
This is
great to
really
be here.
exciting.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So let's ground everyone. Before we jump into the business, before we talk about what you've built and this amazing contribution you're making to our community, let's get a little bit of background. Let's just maybe give everyone a little bit of your vegan story. So, number one, let's tell everyone how long you've been vegan. And if that needs to be vegan slash whole food plant based, we can do that as well, because I know there's a difference. And it's an important difference.
Yes.
And then if you want to just share a little bit about your journey, we want to spend a little bit of time grounding everyone there, and then we transition over. Does anyone want to go first, or?
Let you start.
Okay. I've actually been a vegan for probably about 16 years. Started out as a vegetarian and went to a country to do some volunteer work and found out that, one, they didn't use a lot of cheese or dairy. And when I got off the cheese and dairy, I realized that I was lactose intolerant, which I know is a huge issue for a large population of people, especially around the world and in the United States, and loved the vegan food. So I kind of continued that mission for probably about 10, maybe 15 years, and started struggling with my weight, even though I was vegan, and struggling with some other issues like high blood pressure, things like that. Decided to go whole food plant-based 5 years ago. And it made a huge difference in my life. My weight got back down to a weight that was comfortable for my body. My blood pressure is, it's like what it was when I was in my 20s. It really made a nice difference. So really, truly became a believer and wanted to share this with people because I was actively a midwife and a nurse practitioner working and wanted to share the information with my patients, but unfortunately didn't seem to have the time to be able to share it. So now I get to. I'm very excited about it.
That I think is key, is being able to get this information. That is one of the challenges with, it's such great information that can help a lot of people, can change people's lives. And for some people can maybe even change the trajectory of their lifestyle, like their living standards. but being able to have that time to spend with people to educate and so forth is key. So I'm really excited when we dig into the business side on how you do it. Is really exciting me. So Mitzi, do you want to give everyone a little bit of background into you, your expertise, and your journey as well?
Sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, Stephanie. So I'm Misty Young, and I went vegan on a moment. Like literally, I had read a book called Skinny Bitch years ago. It changed some thinking in me, right? When they started talking about pus in milk, I was like, what? That's not true. And then I did the research and I was like, yeah, and talked to some farmers and I was like, yeah, there's pus in milk. I was so grossed out. So I dropped out milk products. Then I dropped out chicken and turkey. And then one day I dropped out beef and I was done. So that's been about almost 10 years ago that I went vegan. But I went vegan, not whole food, plant-based, until I met my nutrition nurse. This is my nutrition nurse.
A little bit of a nag too.
A little bit of a nag, and I appreciate it because in the time that I wasn't whole food plant-based, yes, I was not eating any animal products. And yes, I felt good about that. And in my soul and in my heart, I felt really good about the non-animal exploitation aspect. Mm-hmm. But my health didn't really improve the way I wanted it to because I was still pretty much strung out on junk food. And then I met Sherry. And she helped me clean out my pantry, my freezer, my fridge, frankly, and taught me how to cook a little bit differently and better. And this is the crazy part. I had already earned certifications as a whole food plant-based nutritional therapist by the time I met Sherry, but I didn't grok it. I didn't get it. I wasn't able to activate it into my life. And when I met Sherry, she taught me systems and showed me how to live whole food plant-based. And all of a sudden I lost 19 pounds this year. I feel great. Wow. Yeah, I feel really good. I have no blood pressure issues, no gallbladder issues, no brain fog issues. In fact, I'm more alive now than I've ever been. So when I saw Sherry's systems and how she operates as a true business person, I was like, I think there's an opportunity here for us to create a business to help other people. I mean, we always talk about what is it that we want out of life, and both of us feel a real compulsion to serve and to help people feel great. And that's why you see us here today.
Nice. Now, I love that you use the word activate, because I think that happens to a lot of us, especially as vegans or even individuals that are maybe not ready to wear the vegan t-shirt. They feel like I eat healthy. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing the good stuff.
And
yes, they made the step, but they're not always activating what they've learned. They're not always taking it and truly applying it on a day-to-day basis. So I'm really excited to hear about these systems that are in place and how you're helping people. But before I jump too far down, let's give everyone a little bit of background. Let's tell everyone a little bit about the business, when it started, and let's maybe just give everyone a little bit of background on kind of what you offer and what are some of the services.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All right.
Yeah. She's more the businesswoman and I'm more the nurse. So
you are the nurse. You're my nutrition nurse.
I am the nurse.
The idea came just together about a year ago when on a chance, Sherry and I met at a yoga class. And she invited me to a whole food plant-based nutrition lecture she was giving 2 days later. And I attended. I was very excited because we live in this tiny itty bitty little coastal town in Oregon. Vegans here are few and far between. Trust me, few and far between. So when I met someone who eats like me, I was like, yay, I found a sister. I was so excited. But when we realized we were creating something of value that could add value to other people, we decided to literally incorporate a business and make it an offering that people could use to improve their lives. What we both know is that there are many ways to live life. One is by default and one is by design. Those are just two strategies. There's other ways too. But if you live your life intentionally on design in a designed way, you can get the results you want. And what we figured out is that people don't really have the systems in place. They're confused. You go to the grocery store, you stand in the grocery store line, and there's 15 magazines along the counter at the grocery store. One tells you that if you go vegan, you can lose 14 pounds. I saw one the other day that said you'll lose 30 pounds in 14 days. Yesterday, I saw that headline. Wow. Right? You can lose 30 pounds in 14 days. I was like, ooh, that sounds great. But then
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't really work that way. But then you see another magazine that says eat only meat to lose all the weight you want, and one that says the cabbage and vegetable soup is going to be your savior, right? So like there's so much confusion in the marketplace. And this is what we really honed in on. Confused people do nothing. So if we could cut through the confusion and help people understand that Mother really does know best, Mother Nature really does know best, an apple a day really does keep the doctor away. You know, when we realized that, we said, how could we systemize that and put information into people's hands? So we literally built an online platform. It's a multimedia, multidimensional platform that is available on any device from anywhere in the world, any time of day. And it is filled with 36 lessons grouped into 6 modules that deals with everything from why, what do you want to accomplish, how do you do it, what are the nutritional requirements? The big question everybody always asks, of course, where do you get your protein, right?
Yeah.
And helping people systematize in a structured manner and in a supportive manner. They actually get to have time to speak with my nutrition nurse. It's live group coaching coupled with detailed deep dive information. Sciencey if you want it. The science is all there. It's all referenced.
It is.
And also just straight up support, you know, straight up community support. So that's where we came from, deciding to design something that instead of letting people or letting ourselves live on default, we said, how do we be intentional about this process? Let's be intentional and let's build a business. Did I miss anything?
Well, one thing I really want to put out there is this is evidence-based. We did write a book on why this is a really nice choice. It's on the program right now, and it is available for others. But really, it's got 3 pages of reference. This is not my opinion. This is not Misty's opinion. This is science evidence that really supports helping people control their weight, but also reduce the incidence of chronic disease. And when we talk about coronavirus, chronic disease is one of the things that is one that's causing the severity of the virus and the disease that's going around. So we're really working on trying to educate people that you can have control over your health. You don't have to be a victim. You can improve your immune system. You can improve your diabetes, your heart disease, but we've got it backed. It's not just an idea. It's not just something that we've thrown out there and said, come along and follow me. I'm going to, give you the gate to health. We have evidence and we've done the research and it's on the program so that you can trust it.
That's important. I think that's the key is a lot of times people don't know what to trust. I mean, you give the kind of the concept of the magazine covers. It sometimes sounds right. Sometimes it doesn't sound right. But the idea is you're still trying to figure out what direction should I go. So being able to tap into an evidence-based program is really important. Now, you mentioned that there's a book. What's the name of the book, just in case anyone who is watching or listening wants to get access to it, and where can they find it?
It's a fun book.
It's a fun book. It's called Sad to Glad, My Nutrition Nurse's Guide to Vibrant, Healthy Living. So you can find it in our program right now. If any of your viewers anywhere across any platform would be interested in getting a copy of that book, we can make that happen for them outside of the platform because we really want to encourage them to get it.
And you can just email either one of us to it, Sherry or Misty
at mynutritionnurse.com.
And we can send them a link. Right now it's a PDF. So basically it's an online book. But if you think about it, SAD, the standard American diet, which is what we're just mindlessly eating. We're just following the major companies that are making a large profit on our health and our nation's economic health.
Yes.
So,
well, and the other part I want to share really quick, Steph, is that SAD to GLAD. SAD is the standard American diet, which of course corresponds to the standard American diseases. And GLAD is what we like to call the glowing lifestyle American diet. SAD, right? The standard American diet is the United States' greatest export. Woo! We got to let the whole rest of the world get unhealthy like us. Let's have a new export. Let's have the glowing lifestyle American diet, a glowing lifestyle that all deserve. I like that idea a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Because, we have all this great like technology and access and all these things we can do in the world. But if you're not healthy, if you don't feel good, you don't get to tap into it. You don't get to
Right.
experience it. You don't get to spend the quality time with family members, that dream of like retiring and then being able to spend time. If we're not healthy, then you can be in a scenario where those years can be challenging years as opposed to
Right.
years that you get to do all the things that you dreamed about. And then also not even waiting that long. The idea is that let's live life, let's
Exactly.
enjoy, let's contribute, and let's really make sure that we are, our best selves as we're moving forward. So I love that everything that you're offering, or at least the program that you mentioned so far, is digital, even with the book being a PDF, because especially in this day and age, a lot of things are moving digital. They're moving to this online space because, we're not able to get out like we used to, travel like we used to. So I think it's really brilliant that you have all these materials online because everyone can tap into it. It doesn't matter where you
Right. Right.
in the world. So
Right.
that's really exciting, at least in my mind and in my book. So one thing I want to talk about is how have you adapted to this year? How has your business either been impacted,
Wow.
and what has been some of those things that maybe you've learned this year just because we've been in so much of, I feel like, crisis management mode a little bit, especially here in the US, where we're really trying to not only manage pandemic, we have a little bit of a political scenario here going in the US, as well as we have social injustice. We have a lot of
Yes.
things that have been
Yes.
happening in the headlines that are pulling at not only our hearts, but pulling at the things that we would normally do. Our normal has been, in some cases, shattered. So how has that impacted what you do, how you help people, or the type of support that you've been offering?
It's been funny when not funny, haha, but when you talk about starting a new business during this time, we've had stops and starts because initially we're running head forward. We're so excited. We're getting everything done. And then the pandemic hits and we're like, well, nobody's working. This isn't the time to be offering a program, right? And we did actually put it out for scholarships and half off initially, and kind of pulled away from putting it out there. And as more and more research came with the pandemic, realizing that chronic disease is really what's harming people even more, we thought, well, now we need to get out there and we need to get the program out so that people can try to do something to protect their health. So I guess what I'm saying is we've had starts and stops. And,
Yeah, exactly.
not really knowing how to handle all the turmoil, honestly, not wanting to be insensitive, not wanting to not be caring, not wanting to feel like, I don't know, taking advantage or.
Well, it's crazy because, we're getting ready to launch the program. We're running full speed ahead. COVID hits. We decide, hey, this isn't good timing. Let's back down. And then we start to kind of ramp up again. And then George Floyd gets murdered out of nowhere. And we're like, oh my gosh, and all these social justice issues, this doesn't seem like the right time to release a program either. So we pull back. And then all of a sudden we're in this pullback mode, we're in this holdback mode, and we realize this is the right time. This is exactly the right time. People are hurting, whether they're hurting from social justice issues or they're hurting from COVID. And I've got a really good story to tell you about COVID, and it gives me goosebumps to even think about it. But whatever it is that they're hurting from, their health is impacting every single other aspect of their lives. Their health is central to everything that they want to accomplish in their lives. And we realized and knew we were compelled really to pull the program forward, to shine it up, get it ready, and let it go. And, there's always going to be time to improve and work and upgrade and build. And that's part of what we're doing. Can I tell you a little story about COVID? Because this is crazy.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I mentioned that I've lost 19 pounds this year, and I've been right on the edge of a healthy BMI for a long time. I've been obese in the past, which just crushes me to even say that. The ironic thing is my family and I co-own a traditional breakfast restaurant, like traditional ham, bacon, sausage, chicken, turkey, eggs, cheese, the whole bit, right? I don't eat any of that stuff. People have different ways of eating. We also offer lots of vegan and whole food plant-based options in the restaurant.
Even more.
Even more, yeah. So this year, I'm striving, I'm working, I'm diligent, I'm focused. My nutrition nurse is helping me to reduce my BMI. Finally on September, this is really unbelievable what I'm about to say. On September 2nd, I finally got 25.0. Like I keep it on my phone, my BMI, right? I'm watching 25.7, 25.6, 25.2, boom, on September 2nd. We're headed up the coast. We're going to go do a presentation. And I call Sherry early in the morning. I'm like, great BMI, but I don't feel so good today. I don't know. Probably better safe than sorry. I just think I should stay home, right? I've been so excited about this trip. Stay home. That was Labor Day weekend. By Monday, I have a positive coronavirus diagnosis, which is weird because we live in this tiny little town. I was case number 24 in the whole town, in the whole county. Case number 24.
Wow.
How did I get it? Don't know. Where did I get it? Don't know. I'm super cautious, ultra cautious, hand washing, sanitizing, eat super healthy, all those things. Here's the great part.
Okay.
I had a very short course. The next day, so that was Tuesday, I didn't feel good. I went, I was like, oh, I don't feel too good. Wednesday, I was in bed. I was in bed with bone ache and with muscle ache, and I slept the whole entire day on Wednesday. High fever, 101.5. Thursday, low fever, half a degree, and one nap, and I've been better ever since. So the point I'm trying to make is when we take control of our health, I don't know, I'm close to 60. I'm almost 60. If I was still obese, if I still had high blood pressure, if I still had gallbladder issues, if I was still in a high cholesterol count, would my course with coronavirus have been different? I have a feeling it would have been. Guess what? My husband got it too. And he's 63. Guess what? One day in bed, one day with a nap, and all the rest of the time it's been fine. What the key trigger for me that made me realize I should go get tested was not the severity. I was mad because I couldn't taste my food. I couldn't taste or smell my food. And I was like, oh, that's the symptom. So I went on Labor Day weekend, got the test and got the results. So I'm not minimizing it. I thought I had a summer cold. I'm not minimizing the severity of this. What I want everyone who's watching or listening to hear is we have control over those comorbidities. We have control over those underlying conditions. We each right now, as this thing is making its way around the world and affecting so many lives, right now in the moment, we have the opportunity to change the way we eat, to change the way we live, to change our exercise, our liquid, our rest, our sleep, our hydration, all of those things. Because really, when it comes down to it, lifestyle really matters.
It's the whole point. Our lifestyle matters. And everybody needs to hear this across every board.
Yes.
Because we can make a difference in people's lives through education and guiding.
Absolutely. And I love, I guess, two pieces of your story. Well, maybe there's even more pieces than that. But two pieces I'll highlight really quick is the recovery. I think a lot of times people are concerned about getting sick and the worry of what could happen and so forth. And the idea that the recovery time could be reduced, or recovery time can be managed differently when we're in these healthier states. And also when we're a little bit in tuned with our bodies, when we have a better sense of what healthy feels like. If we come across something, we can get a quick sense of it and maybe even address it quickly. The other thing I'm going to throw out, and you guys can tell me if you disagree with this, but I think sometimes, when people go vegan or they go whole food plant-based, we get this kind of perspective that I think is incorrect, that like we don't get sick. That things just don't happen to us, that we're in this thing. And I love it when we talk about the fact that we still get sick. There's things that are happening in the world, but the idea is what happens when you get sick and how we recover, how we do better with maybe, our downtime and so forth. And then also what we do to respond because you have those good habits in place, even getting sleep. I've read so much about how people underestimate the value of sleep because that's when your body really does a lot of its great work.
Yes.
And really when you start to make those changes and you're aware of that, I think you can approach things and kind of like, as they say, lemons and turning it into lemonade. Like when lemons come to us, even as whole food, plant-based, or vegans or individuals that, are wearing our proud t-shirts, the
Yeah.
idea is that we want to be better equipped to handle anything that comes, not that nothing will come our way.
Agreed.
Well, and when you talk about a whole food plant-based diet, you know that it can help reduce the symptoms. It can help reduce disease. It can help reverse some diseases. It can also help turn on or off genes depending on what you eat. So if you have a family history of cancer, sometimes you can actually reverse that gene from turning it on by eating a whole food plant-based diet. But as you said, it's not perfect, but we do know that by eating healthy and having a healthy lifestyle, you can reduce your incidence of chronic diseases by about 80%.
Well,
I mean, that's amazing.
It is amazing.
It
And
is.
the other part of it is not just all of the, the long-term benefits, but the in the moment benefits, right? When you're eating well and healthy, you're supporting your immune strength. Your body knows what to do. Your body knows how to heal, but we have to give our bodies a fighting chance to heal by not filling them with inflammatory compounds. I like to say it's not your DNA, it's your dinner. It's not your lineage, it's your lunch, and it's not your genes, it's those Jimmy Deans, right? So we have to think about what it is that we're putting into our bodies that is anti-supportive of our immune systems. When we give our immune system a chance, man, we can be healthy. Does it mean every vegan doesn't get sick? Doesn't mean that.
And it doesn't mean that you may not have some kind of a disease, but we know that you'll do better.
Yes.
You'll use less medication. You'll have more mobility. You'll have less pain.
Yeah.
All of those things have been proven to really make a nice difference. And part of our program isn't just what to eat. It includes affirmations to really support yourself. We've got a meditation or hypnosis about how to fall asleep better and to fall asleep, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. And as you said, Stephanie, that's kind of a building block of healing your body and healing yourself. So we try to look at all of the issues around our lifestyle and incorporate it into the program.
Wonderful. Now, I really also want to commend you for moving forward, because I think that is one of the hardest things when just starting a business in general. There's just little speed bumps. There's, we make a wrong turn and then we have to like make a U-turn and come back out and go different directions.
Yes, yes.
And when you're trying to start a small business or a new business with two people, and I mean, we definitely care about each other. We love each other.
Yes.
But we also have different personalities too. Yeah. So whenever you're starting a business, I think you really have to learn how to work together and pull on each other's strengths.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So any advice that you might have for anyone out there who started their business this year or has been put their business on hold and is like, is this the right time? Or is January the right time? When they kind of get into those modes, do you have any recommendations for anyone out there that might have been in your shoes or is starting down the path?
Yeah. Well, the one I have is just do it. It's like that shoe commercial. Just do it. I think it's Nike or something.
Yes.
You can tell I'm old.
No. We're with you in this.
Don't keep starting and stopping, because that's what we did. And we thought we were trying to, be sensitive and responsive to what was happening in the environment, and realizing that there's not going to be any perfect time, and just get out there and really pull it together and start doing it. You'll hear whether it's the right time or not, but do it.
The thing I would add to that is a couple of ideas. One is, life happens for us, not to us, right? Coronavirus happened for me, not to me. I had such a sense of awakening and live life after I came through that event, because all of a sudden I realized how terrified I had been. And then the virus came and went in my body, and I was like, wow, I'm alive and I'm healthy and I'm on fire. Let's do this thing. The second thing is momentum is really important in a business. So for anyone who's working on a business, John Maxwell is one of the most accomplished authors in the world. He's written 100 books on leadership development. And he says leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. But more importantly, he says about momentum, that momentum is a leader's best friend, and that you have to protect momentum at all costs. So if you're a business person and you've begun to develop some momentum in your business, do not let it slip. Move it forward. Stay up late. Get up early. Don't mess with your sleep, but stay up late. Get up early.
And
Get the rest you need. Eat well. But build the momentum and protect it and nurture it at all costs, and bring all the members of your team up to speed with you in that level of momentum, because that's what's going to ultimately get you over that hill to success, so you can start really cruising fast.
Absolutely. Oh, that is so wonderful. This has been such a great time I've had just talking with you, feeling your energy. I'm also a little fired up myself, because I was admitting before we started that I have, a good amount of junk food still in my life. So this has been.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. You could just keep incorporating more fruits and vegetables, legumes, nuts and seeds, whole grains.
I will do better. I just wanted to show a couple people say this was great. They're really enjoying the session today. There was a quick comment about recognizing the problem, nursing ourselves, and putting plant-based diet into our body, and provoking our body to heal itself. So it's so great when people are almost head nodding and, feeling what you're saying today. It's always fun when we see those comments. So anyone who is still watching, or if you watch this as part of the replay, we still love your comments. Let us know how much you've enjoyed this interview, how much you've been inspired, because I know I have been. And also, please don't forget to take a look at our guest website, check them out on social media. These interviews are really a great opportunity to shed kind of a spotlight on some of the amazing businesses that we have out there in our community to help people. Do you want to just give everyone the website and maybe the social media accounts if they want to get in touch with you?
Sure, you bet. You can find us on mynutritionnurse.com. You can find us on Facebook at My Nutrition Nurse. You can find us on Instagram, My Nutrition Nurse, and you can find us on YouTube, but we're hard to find right now.
We're hard to find.
And finally, you can find us on Podbean. We have a fun, kind of a little bit of an edgy podcast on Podbean, My Nutrition Nurse. So you should be able to find us pretty quickly. Sherry Baum and Misty Young at My Nutrition Nurse.
And if anybody would like to review or look at the book, just send us an email and we'll send you the PDF and you can review it.
Sherry, SHERRY at My Nutrition Nurse, and she'll get the book to you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of insight into what's been happening in your world and sharing your stories and even your personal story. I really appreciate that, Mitzi. And I just want to say, not only do I wish you all the best, I'm really excited about what you're offering out there in the world. I'm going to check out the podcast. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm a big podcaster. And I hope we stay in touch, and I hope we continue to not only chit chat about all the great work that you're doing, but also, we just had a quick hello from Zur Gluten Free. They join us on a lot of our live sessions, so it's always great to say hello. But I look forward to keeping in touch with you and hearing how your business grows. And I'm also just really honored that we had a chance to get to know each other a little bit better.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Oh, great. Well, everyone who's been watching us and watching the replay, thank you once again for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you in our next interview. Bye, everyone.